Hi guys, this is Klazart bringing an audio commentary, and this time I'm commentating on the E-Stars Heritage League semi-finals, and this is going to be between Savior and Yellow. It looks like we've got Savior in orange at the 6 o'clock position, and Yellow is in red at 9 o'clock. This is going to be on Outsider. Yeah, okay, it looks like those are the colors, although it looked like Yellow was white in the schematic thing, but it doesn't look like he is white here. Yeah, Yellow is white, so Savior is definitely orange, so I'm presuming Yellow is red. Kind of a weird thing from the controller's part here. I just want to say I'm a little bit disappointed, guys. Okay, they're fixed the colors now, so Yellow is indeed at 9 o'clock, just to clarify that. I'm a little bit disappointed, guys. Some of you have left comments on my YouTube page saying you guys want me to cover the finals of the E-Stars League, and in that saying which players are involved in that, therefore spoiling the semifinals for myself because I hadn't seen them yet, because I try to avoid watching the games before I cast them, and spoiling them not only for myself but also for any other fan who happens to stumble upon the page. So I'm not blaming you guys. I know it's just a little bit of over enthusiasm, but please do be mindful of stuff like that when posting results of games that have only been played yesterday. I mean, normally this kind of stuff wouldn't be a problem because semifinals and finals are played weeks apart or a week apart, but in this case, when they're just a day apart, and you know, I'm trying to keep up with all the matches that are going on and provide as much coverage as I can. I hadn't seen them yet, so I guess that's also a little bit of a notice to you guys that I do know the results of this matchup, but I haven't seen the games, obviously. And yeah, so let's get into this game here. Yellow at the I mean, really, I personally feel that Savior's got a very strong chance here. I really feel that this is going to be a tall order for Yellow to overcome Savior in this matchup, simply because of the fact, and I mean, I'm going to try and make this commentary regardless of the results that I know, and try and make it as if I was doing it normally. But yeah, it looks like both players have scouted initially in the wrong direction. Savior looks like he's got that gas first and just now getting his spawning pool up. Yellow's done the exact same build as well, and this is a little bit reminiscent of that build we saw from Effort, I believe, versus Zero. It was, I think. No, it wasn't Zero. I think it was Effort versus Calm, and I think he actually lost that matchup. I just did that. I've been doing so many Zerg versus Zerg recently, it's hard to keep track. They all kind of meld into each other and meld into one giant pot. Yellow straight away starting up his lair as soon as his spawning pool is complete. Savior's spawning pool perhaps half a second slower than Yellow's. I'm not sure who that fan loves. I have a feeling that it's probably Savior. Everyone loves Savior, right? You guys love Savior, don't you? So Overlord's crossing paths in the middle right now. But yeah, I think that Savior's been the sharpest player for me in this tournament, probably because he's competed at the highest level most recently out of all of the players that are taking part, making it to the MSL round of 16. And I don't think any of these other players have been able to really compete at that level. And Yellow, you know, I've watched a few games of him, and I do have to admit that he has been a little bit sloppy. So in his microing and his multitasking, he just isn't there yet. He just isn't at peak form. I think sloppy's perhaps slightly in for a word. Yeah, this is indeed that kind of build we saw from Effort. I think it's the kind of 10 gas 11 pool or 9 gas 11 pool build. But yeah, it looks like Savior is certainly going for that. He's blocked off his ramp with the 6 lings, and Yellow, I think, is not going. Yellow is going for something different. He's gone straight for the lair, and I guess he's trying to maybe take his hatchery at his natural expo, but he hasn't done that either. So I'm not sure exactly what Yellow's build was. Perhaps Yellow just went for a more standard overpool build, but we're not seeing that hatchery go down for Yellow. Now we're seeing that Spire go down. Yellow is going to be significantly behind, I feel, in this game, because Savior's going to have the advantage of that extra hatchery, and that's going to allow him to have more units. Yellow, obviously, with only the one hatchery, with only the one lair, is just going to have 3 larvae to his name, and that's going to limit him somewhat. And I'm sure whatever that fan has written must be witty or interesting in some way, which is why they're featuring it, because there's no cool artwork there. It's just some random letters scrawled, well, not random, but just some words scrawled across a page, and certainly not stylish. But I guess if you want to come up with stuff on the fly, meeting the situation, that's the way to go about it. Yellow has now started up his hatchery, so I guess he just wanted to get that Spire up a little bit earlier. I'm not sure what benefit he's going to see from that. I mean, it's just down to, I guess, a little bit of timing, but to be honest, I think it's just going to come down to the micro between these two players, and we all know that Savior's Zerg versus Zerg micro hasn't been great. We know that anything can happen in Zerg versus Zerg, but I do feel that Yellow's got a very uphill battle against Savior in order to be able to beat him against the Maestro. Now Yellow with his 6 Zerg, he's just trying to put a little bit of pressure on Savior. Savior is actually a master at defending the ramp. He's always been incredibly good at it, even with less Zerglings compared to his opponents. Now Yellow trying to push up that ramp, losing a couple of Zerglings in the process, and Savior not losing any Zerglings, and besides that, he's got a couple more Zerglings to supplement his lines. And once again, Yellow trying to draw Savior Zerglings off their position, but Savior is a master of defending that ramp. I've never seen his ramp breached in Zerg versus Zerg. Well, I'm sure it's happened sometimes, but it's very rare to see that happen. And yeah, I do feel that Savior, in my opinion, is really the favorite to take the whole competition, and if he doesn't, I feel that Savior fans especially would be quite disappointed. Yellow's now got his first group of Mutalisks out. Savior's going to be forced to pull his Zerglings back because he knows that, but Savior again has got that second hatchery out in perfect timing, so he's going to have more Mutalisks out earlier. Yellow's got his second hatchery out as well, so both players actually having the same number of units, just getting there by slightly different route. Savior looks like he's got about 5 Mutalisks there. Yellow looks like he's got a similar amount, so it's essentially going to come down. Neither player with any Scourges thus far, but Savior now trying to attack that Overlord of Yellow, almost picking it off. That Overlord surviving with the sliver of health, and Yellow's got his Mutalisks around to defend it successfully. So yeah, it's going to come down to their Mutalisk micro. Savior's now got Scourges mixed into the pack. That Overlord is definitely going to go down. Yellow pulled away, and he's lost that Overlord, so Savior drawing first blood. Meanwhile, Savior sending some Zerglings, looks like to Yellow's wrap, but Yellow takes them out with his Mutalisks. And Yellow might be under a little bit of pressure here, having lost that Overlord, but he should, I'm sure he anticipated the possibility of that and has a spare Overlord there, otherwise he would be limiting himself. But yeah, basically, I still feel this is still anyone's game. Now the big battle happening in the middle of the map. Savior absorbing the Scourge hits first. I don't know where Savior's Scourges went, but Yellow seems to be landing a lot of Scourges on Savior, and Savior's Mutalisk being chased a little bit, but Savior seems to have been able to absorb those Mutalisk hits and come out of it okay. I'm not sure where Savior's Scourges went. Perhaps he landed his Scourges in the middle of that battle as well. I certainly didn't see them. I thought the Scourges were mostly of Yellow's, but meanwhile, looks like Yellow had a couple of Zerglings harassing Savior in his main, and Savior was forced to pull back to deal with that. So both players, I mean, it's hard for me to say that either player has an advantage. It's just down to the Mutalisk micro. The first battle, both players crossed swords, but neither was able to draw significant blood. I feel both players have come away with perhaps